So the next question in Java, it may ask you, what is final in Java? What is final in Java? So what is final in Java, guys? Final is the keyword in Java. Final is the keyword in Java. It provides following properties. They are as follows, guys. Okay. First one, final is a variable. Okay. Final is a variable. Third one, final we can declare as a method. Final we can declare as a class, guys. Okay. Either we can declare final variable, final method, or final class. Okay. Because final keyword provides, okay, how many properties? Okay. It provides following properties. They are as follows. Okay. Final variable, final method, and final class, guys. Okay. So like what is final variable? The variable which we declare, okay, with the final keyword. Like suppose we said final, okay, float and pi. Okay. So now, okay, suppose you try to declare a final variable, we will get an error. Okay. Final variable by default is known as a constant variable. By default is known as a constant variable. Hence, we need to initialize at the time of declaration, guys. We need to initialize final variable at the time of declaration, guys. Okay. We need to, okay, we need to assign, okay, we need to initialize. Okay. We need to initialize, okay, final variable, okay, at the time of declaration, guys. Okay. Final variable, because by default is known as a constant variable. Okay. Default, okay, will known as a, okay, known as constant variable, guys. Okay. This is all about final variable. And then final method. What is final method, guys? Okay. Any method we declare, okay, with a final keyword. Let's say I write a final void show method. So such a method is known as a final method. This is called final method, guys. Okay. Final method. Okay. Final method. We will say this is a final method, guys. Okay. Third one. Okay. Third one, final class. So any class we declare as a final class. Any class we declare as a final class. Such a class is known as a final class, guys. Okay. Class. Okay. We can declare as a final class. Okay. So now what the final class will say? Final class, okay, not allowed to extend. Okay. We will say final class not allowed to extends, okay, into another class. Okay. Tomorrow suppose I try to write a class, okay, A76, guys. Okay. And I try to extend which class? Question 76. Okay. We will say question 76. Okay. Question 76. Now you can see, guys, I will get an error because, okay, because final class we cannot extend. But suppose we remove this final keyword. Okay. Now you can see, guys, JVM will allow, okay, to extend, because final class we cannot extend. Final class we cannot extend, guys. Okay. And then what about final method? Okay. Any method we declare with a final keyword, such a method is known as a final method. And then final method we cannot override. Final method we cannot override, guys. Okay. Final method we cannot. Suppose we try to override show method. Okay, we will get an error because final method we cannot override. But suppose we remove this final keyword. Okay, you can see, guys. Okay, overriding is allowed here. So whichever method we will declare with final keyword, whichever method, okay, we declare with final keyword. Okay, so that method we cannot override into its a subclass. Okay, what we will say, guys? Final method we cannot override. Final method we cannot override. Okay. And then what is final variable, guys? Okay. Final variable we need to initialize at the time of declaration. Okay. But once we initialize final variable, then after we cannot reinitialize final variable. Suppose we try to reinitialize, okay, or suppose we try to modify the value of pi. Pi is a final variable. So once we initialize final variable, then after we cannot reinitialize. But suppose I remove this final keyword, okay, so now this statement perfectly valid. Okay. But once I write final keyword, so final variable we cannot reinitialize, okay, during the program execution. What we will say, guys? Final variable, okay, we cannot, okay, cannot reinitialize. What we will say? Reinitialize, guys. Okay, during the program execution. Okay, reinitialize during the program execution. Got it, guys? Okay, so this is all about final keyword in Java, guys. Okay, we cannot perform reinitialize here. Okay, so I will comment it here. So thank you, guys. This is final keyword.